What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Bad Batch Echo from Season 1, and this is number 11 in the Bad Batch wave. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at the articulation, accuracy of the figure, accessories that this figure comes with, as well as that nice detail on the box. So we'll go ahead and start off with the box first because, this is what we have right here. And then looking at that box, it does have that old school open window box, which a lot of the newer ones have that closed window box, but I'm glad that they're finally able to go back into this, old school version. You guys can see the figure and display it good. So here we have a tray shot of Echo. Let's go ahead and get straight to the accessories. So first we're going to go ahead and look at this helmet, which is pretty unique, especially to this figure. It does have some holes on the back in order for Echo's, headpiece to fit in perfectly. And there is a little slit right here. So I guess it doesn't damage, the figure, or just to make it easier to put it on whenever you guys, put the helmet on the figure. But overall, this is pretty cool. Really nice detail. There's no weathering. Like most of these season 1 figures, they don't have any crazy weathering. So let's go ahead and look at the next accessory that this figure has. So next we're looking at this arm piece, or like this little, I think this is a blaster, but I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the show, but I'm not really too sure. And this part does come off, which I'm not sure if it becomes into any more of a feature that way. It could look like a blaster or something. I'm not really sure. Let's go ahead and go to the next thing. So next we have a typical blaster that a lot of these clones come with. Really basic, nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and get to the last thing. So here we have Echo's backpack. Now I'm not sure if you want to consider this an accessory, but you can remove it. So I guess it technically is. All right, so here we have the figure. This is Echo from the Bad Batch Season 1. And it looks pretty decent, honestly. Like the transition between realistic and animation looks pretty good in my opinion. When it comes to accuracy, I think this is pretty accurate. At least the best way that I think. I mean, when you look at it, you automatically know it's Echo. That's if you're a Star Wars fan. So let's go ahead and look at the details of the figure. You guys can see that it does have some pouches. He does have a holster here for his weapon. Got that little small peg hole right there for the backpack. Overall, it's pretty good. Now, I wish this was cloth, but I guess it couldn't do it because of the pouches. But overall, it's really not too bad. If it had a little bit more wear and tear, I think that would make this figure look a lot better, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and look at the articulation of this figure. So we're going to go ahead and test out the joints on the arms to see what kind of joints it has. And from what you could tell, it does have single joints, but it slightly goes above 90 degrees. And on the other arm, it's slightly the same as well. It's more so on the 90-degree angle right here. So we're going to go ahead and look at the ab crunch of the figure. We're going to go ahead and move this arm up. And it goes slightly forward, which is pretty decent. And it goes pretty decent back, which I'm not really too upset with that. Now let's go ahead and look at the joints on the legs. So the leg can only go this high because it's restricted, but it does have single jointed knees, which I guess is not too bad. But you guys can see that the front part right here is getting a little wonky. It's moving a little bit to the right. And it does have thigh swivel, which is, I guess, decent, but it really can't move all that much. I mean, the figure is pretty stiff, in my opinion. And it doesn't seem to have butterfly joints. It's kind of like on a ball joint, I think. But it does go 360 all around. Now let's go ahead and look at his head. Does go left, right, and then up and down pretty decent. You guys can see right here, it's not really too restricted because of this headpiece. So let's go ahead and put on his helmet so you guys have an idea what he looks like. So putting on the helmet is a little tricky. Now, what I didn't realize, here on the back, there's like a little hinge on here where you just take it apart and have to plug them back in. And it's not really too perfect because I didn't align it all that well, but that was like the best way I could do it for right now. But overall, it's really not too bad, but it does hinder his movement. He can still look left and right, but it does get a little bit hindered here at the bottom. Now, when it comes to looking up, you really can't look up that much or down. But overall, it's really not too bad. We're going to go ahead and grab the rest of the accessories. So putting this arm piece is really quite easy. Now, if you turn it around, there is a little hole right here, which it does peg into his arm. All you got to do is basically just finesse it in there, insert it, and there you go. It adds like a nice little detail, in my opinion, and it does move around. Now, what I didn't realize is that his arm could also go back, which is really weird. Not that you would ever really need to do this, but you know, just showing you guys in case you guys are curious. But overall, really not too bad. Let me go ahead and put that back in there. Overall, this figure really isn't that bad. When it comes to articulation, I think I'm still going to give this a 6.5. And when it comes to the accessories, I think I'll still give it a 7 out of 10, even though because I don't really consider the helmet nor the backpack an accessory. You know, this arm piece is pretty good, and the regular typical blaster is, you know, pretty basic in my opinion. That's something that should come with a figure. When it comes to the box art, I definitely give that like a solid 8 out of 10. When it comes to the transition between animated and realistic, I think the accuracy of this figure is definitely 8.5 out of 10. But when it comes to the overall figure, whether I think you guys should buy this, I'm not sure if you guys can get this at a really cheap price between retail, between $20 and $25 is definitely worth it. Now, the overall rating that I'll give this figure for everything, I think this is just a solid 7 out of 10. It is a cool figure, very unique helmet, unique pieces. But you know, if you want to complete the collection, it's definitely a must pick up. But overall, yeah, it's a decent figure. I definitely think it has its faults. You guys let me know down in the comment section below. What do you guys think of the Bad Batch Echo? And will you guys be picking him up? I'll have a link down below where you guys can purchase him on Amazon, which I'm not really sure what it is at the time. And comment your best feature or the best thing you like of this figure. And I'll see you guys in the next Bad Batch video because I'm slowly doing each one. And I'll see you guys in the next one.